Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans, SEC fans everywhere? Welcome to the one and only Pig Trail Network YouTube channel. I'm the host and creator, Ty Hudson. I hope you guys are doing well. Please, at the end of the video, like, comment, share the content. Check out all the links provided for you down below in the description box. If you want to join the Pig Trail Network Patreon page, that link is provided for you also down below in the description box. Rakeem Boyd opting out. 2 games left to go in the year. What does that mean for the future of the position for the remainder of 2020 and next year? What are they going to do at running back? Well, I think the future's pretty bright. Let's discuss. Rakeem Boyd, who this year, it goes without saying, he's not anywhere near his production from a year ago. I mean, you're talking about a guy 1,000 plus rushing yards, 6.2 yards per carry, almost double digit rushing touchdowns. I want to say he had 8 or 9. I can't really remember. I didn't look it up, but was highly productive. Was a guy that a lot of people thought, he's gonna add to his draft stock this year. There's very little doubt about that. I felt pretty confident that he was going to find some success, and he didn't. Fortunately for Hog fans and for Kendall Briles and for Sam Pittman, they have Traylon Smith, who's helped kind of bail them out in the run game, when Traylon was kind of struggling. So with him out, what do these final 2 or 3 games look like for the Razorbacks out of the backfield? What are they going to do, right? You've got Mizzou up, you've got Bama coming up next, and then you have possibly the bowl game, which I think they'll get picked. Maybe it all lies on the Mizzou game. I don't know. The question is, what do you do at the running back position? What's going on? Traylon's the guy, but who's behind him, right? Traylon this year, again, who's been a very pleasant surprise, 89 carries, 469 yards on the ground, 5.3 yards a carry, 2 rushing touchdowns. Oh, and by the way, he can catch the ball out of the backfield. He has 20 catches for 134 yards and a receiving touchdown. Now, why is he having success and Rakeem isn't? I think it has a lot to do with his frame. He's smaller. He's agile. He's shiftier. He's got pretty good vision. Not saying Rakeem doesn't, but Rakeem really this year and in this offense has become more of a north-south runner. And, well, let's just be honest, the run blocking up front, they're not exactly opening up huge holes in between the center and the guard or even in between the guard and the tackle. There's no holes being opened up. And for someone like Rakeem, I don't really know how else to put it. He's just not been able to hit the hole fast enough. And when it's not there, he's not the kind of back that can shift and find somewhere else to run like Traylon can. Traylon is just shiftier. He's speedier. He's got the smaller frame, and he runs through tackles. Watch his feet. That guy is constantly kicking his feet. He never stops. Traylon is a train for a smaller back. But he's averaging, again, almost 5.5 yards a carry. I would love to see him tear it up against Mizzou this weekend. But what does that look like from here on out for the Hogs? Well, TJ Hammonds is a name that gets brought up a lot, and I see why. He's got big playability written all over him. His only catch for the year went for, 50 yards. He's only carried the ball 3 times, but he has 24 yards. That's 8 yards a carry with a 29-yard run from the line of scrimmage. He has big playability. We know that from watching him in the past. He has it in him. I would argue that maybe if he's healthy, I don't know where he's at in terms of his health, Dominic Johnson. I have people in my chat every once in a while that come through and say, Ty, you're not talking enough about Dominic Johnson, the power back. Well, here's the opportunity. With Rakeem out, with God only knows what's going on with TJ Hammonds, you're going to need a change of pace back. And this system, you're going to need that change of pace guy. And for Rakeem and Traylon, that worked sometimes, not as often as we would like. The run game, we know it's not been that great. But what happens when you put a 6'1", 200, I think he's 235, 230-pound power back in this offense? Also, as a friend of mine put it, how poetic would it be for this guy who once was committed to Mizzou to come out and have a big-time game against the Tigers? That would be fantastic. I would love it against those cocky Mizzou Tiger fans. And I think he's capable. He's had some health issues. I don't know. Don't ask me about COVID. I have no idea if he's had the coof. I don't know. But I know that he has. He's had some issues with staying healthy throughout the season. I don't know if he's really seen the field a whole lot this year, but I know he hasn't carried the football, not even once. Why not? Hey, there's your secret weapon. He's a kid who I think that could maybe have an impact down the road, if not the rest of this season, at least in terms of a guy that could come in as a relief or as a change of pace running back, right? Like to help kind of take the load off Treylon. It would just be sweet if he would do that against Mizzou. But what about next year, Ty? What are they going to do next year? Look, nobody thought that Rakeem Boyd would come back for 2021, but that question still come up. I'm telling you, A.J. Green is for real. You've got Raheem Sanders, who's targeted to play wide receiver at Arkansas, but I've heard there's also a possibility they could ask him to take some carries out of the backfield, depending on what happens. You've got Amante Spivey, who's currently in the transfer portal. You're a little bit thinner at the running back position than where you were at coming into the year. And, of course, with Spivey out, that's one less guy for next year's roster as well. So you've got some options at running back. You've also got Javion Hunt, who's a 6', 205-pound running back out of Oklahoma. But A.J. Green, Javion Hunt, Raheem Sanders, the future's bright at the running back position, and I wouldn't panic too much. But for the rest of this year, I would argue you're probably going to see more T.J. Hammonds, but I would love to see Dominic Johnson. There, for all of you who've been asking me to talk about Dominic, I'm calling for him. Let's see him against Mizzou. Let's see what he can do against Mizzou, against the Tigers. I'd like to see it. What about you guys? Remember, like, comment. I want to know what you guys think. Share the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. Woo Pig Suey, go Hogs. We'll see you on the next one.